Okay, hello everyone. So we are currently doing a project based on the factors that affect software developer productivity and empirical study. So myself and Sangeeta are the three people in the group as of now. So coming to the phase 3 outline, we are going to speak with the quick recap, SLR results, word cloud and conclusion. Coming to the quick recap, what we have done is that we have gathered a paper, and on top of that, we have made some factors that affect developer productivity. And apart from the factors that are present in the paper, we have additionally come up with the factors that could affect developer productivity. Based on that factors, we have created a survey and distributed them among the different social platforms. And we have made that survey using FSC Qualtrics. And from the data we received from the survey, we have gathered that and made some insights such that to find if there are any differences between the results to the findings in the paper and the results from the survey. And we have analyzed the responses by using some word cloud, and we have created visualizations. So coming to SLR results, the people. So one of the key factor is people, and the sub factors are experience, motivation, turnover, work-life balance, diversity, and inclusion. So coming to experience, I would say the results from the experience perspective are similar to the kind of results in the original paper. And in addition to that, I have even taken the interview scripts as a reference so that it could make more sense to give a particular clarity if it's a positive feedback or a negative feedback. And it is a positive feedback from many of the people, such as 80% of the people have given it is a positive impact on the developer experience. And coming to motivation, yeah, motivation impact positively impacts developer productivity. It also includes factors such as concise goal, better management, and engaging work environment. Apart from the findings in the paper, I came up with some factors such as quality of task we work on and some fun activities among the team, which even boost the productivity of developer. So these are the results for the motivation. And then for the turnover is negatively impacts the productivity of a developer. Is a loss as it's a lot of knowledge among the team. The research paper also indicates it's a negative factor that impacts the productivity. And the survey which shows that 76% of the people says the turnover amongst the team is expected. So is a negatively impacts productivity. And the project documents that needs to be reiterated as new joinees needs to give reiteration of the knowledge transfer which needs to be done. And it takes some time of the developer to take out of his schedule and get back to the new joining, so that defeats the productivity. And coming to the work-life balance, the factor is derived from the references of the original paper, which is not from the original paper. Uh, Work-life balance impacts the productivity of developer, and because that if there is a balance between the work life and the personal life, only then we could able to concentrate on the work items assigned. Else there will be impact on both the work life and the personal life balance. The results was from the survey around like 80% of the people think that work-life balance impacts the productivity, and which is true. And the last but not least, diversity and inclusion. This factor is derived from the references of the original paper, but this question is not included in the original paper. Diversity and inclusion in Office is a positive impact to the developer. This this is a debatable question to put it in the survey. The results which have received are like 42% do agree that the impact of productivity with diversity, and whereas 40% of the people by saying that it might affect or it might not affect the developer productivity. But compared to the findings, uh, which shows that it has impact on the developer productivity. And coming to software products, in end requirements, the end requirements do affect the productivity of a developer. If the end requirements are well defined, the developer can work on top of it to achieve the results. And if they keep on updating among themselves, it will be difficult to modify based on the requirements, even if it's on agile development project or anything like that. So the results in the survey popped up to be like 57 of the people agree that the requirements impact the productivity, whereas the findings of the interviews were taken previously for the assignment to which we have done are similar to as of that. Coming to the application complexity. The application complexity deals with the statement that if the complexity of application is more, it negatively impacts the developer productivity. The findings in the paper with respect to the complexity of application with developer productivity solely depends on logical complexity, algorithmic application. So the results from the survey matches with the findings in the paper by stating some of the reasons, such as it takes more time and efforts to deploy changes in all stages, such as testing, UAT, development, and production. So comparing these findings in the survey and with the interview scripts which we have taken, the results do correlate on the same phase. And coming to the programming languages, the increase in number of programming languages in the current market scenario, and even let's say we combine two or more languages in a specific application, that too impacts the productivity of the developer in a negative way. The paper states that the inclusion of, as we have mentioned, that let's say the application has two or more projects. From the survey, 57% of the people has agreed that increase of the programming language in an application could negatively impact the productivity of developers. And with apart from this, by comparing and findings with the paper, and the results of the survey were taken on the same phase. So increasing programming language negatively impact the productivity of the developers. And last but not the least, in the software products as a technology platform. So this technology platform we choose has a different impacts on productivity if we combine them together. There are several factors in technological platforms such as software products and hardware products. So by combining these platforms into a single application might negatively impact the developer productivity. And the results obtained from the survey shows that 50% of the responses impact the technology platform, that it might or it may not. And coming to the organization work arrangement, Sangeeta is gonna take forward from that.
Thank you, Harsha, for a detailed explanation of the factors that affect the productivity. And I would like to carry on with the next additional factors, such as like organization and work arrangements. In the organization, we have got some more like factors in it, which are knowledge management, existence of historical measuring background, and work environment and software tools. Knowledge management in the sense is like giving a KT for freshers who are coming up with the project, who are joining in the newly in the project. So for them, if they don't get any proper KT or anything, it affects their productivity to get through how the project goes on and everything by themselves. It's a difficult task for them. So with the survey results, interestingly, we got to know that most of them felt that 97% of them felt that if there is no proper knowledge management in the project, it would affect the productivity. And later on, with the other factor, other sub factor is existence of historical measurement background, which is like when a person joins in a project or like any client, usually it's like if they don't have any previous documents of what implementation is done, or what documents or background developments that have done, it would be difficult for the developer to understand what previously the changes had done and everything. So and from the survey results, we got to know 78% of them believe that knowledge historical measurement and knowledge training would impact the productivity. And later on, with the work arrangements, work environment, for this we have even taken the text response for it. And most of the developers felt that in work environment should be a positive work environment, and also should include a motivation rather than more of workload or more of stress or anything. So they all of them have expected a friendly and interactive work environment, uh, which will increase their productivity too. So from the survey results, so directly 97% of them told that it would highly impact the productivity. So and the next factor is software tools. For this also, we have 86% of the developers felt having a standardized tools like version control, developer tools. These all impacts positively for the productivity. We also asked the developers what tools they have used in their companies. Most of the developers used GitHub, Jira, MuleSoft, VS Code, like that. And by using the standardized tools, most of them felt it would increase the quality and efficiency, and also increases the collaboration and consistency among the team members. And coming up with the work arrangements, this is the factor which we have additionally come up with the already existing paper. This factor we have come up, most of them after COVID. Most of them felt work from home was the best option for them. So and they also had faced very difficult times of arranging their work and personal life simultaneously. So coming to that, one of the sub factor in the work arrangements are flexible work hours and remote work. From the survey, most of the developers felt allowing them having a flexible work hours can improve the productivity, which also includes them to do their work and personal life as personal commitments as well simultaneously. And most of them after the COVID, most of the developers like to work it from everywhere, and like working from home and everything. And from the survey results, most remote work led higher productivity by minimizing the distractions and providing a comfortable work environment and reducing the stress. And also workload balance. In workload balance, most of the developers told that work is not evenly distributed in some of the projects. Like one work they have either given to like the senior consultants who are more efficient in it, and some tasks were not given more to the same developer itself. So for that developer, it would lead to stress and burnout and reduce the productivity for that person. So I think it is better to have a workload distributed among the developers. And in the survey results, 83% of the developers from the survey felt that overloading of an employee would, with excess tasks and unrealistic deadlines, would decrease their productivity. And also the next factor is clear communication. Clear communication is like, if there is no clear communication about what deadline is and what requirement or proper documentation of anything, it would decrease the productivity. So always having a clear communication of what deadlines are and what is the requirement would always increase the productivity and decreases the chances of doing it rework and everything. So from the survey results, 95% of developers felt effective and transparent communications increases the productivity. And yeah, that's it from my end. Next factors would be taken care by Maitri.
Thank you, Sangeeta. So can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So for these results, so for these factors, one of this is open source projects, which is also discussed in the original paper that we are studying, and the other factor is external stressors. So this is a newly added factor that we have added here. In these key factors, we have some sub factors. So the sub factors, I'll start with field of IT investments. So what are our literature review for this is that our literature review for this factor revealed that investment in technology infrastructure, such as it can be hardware related infrastructure or software related infrastructure, it does impact productivity in a very high and significant manner. And in addition to that, we also derive this result that employees want to be trained, and they want to have developer level of approaches which can improve their employee skills and knowledge, which can lead to increased productivity. Our result from this matches with the paper's result. Coming to contractual relationships, the reviews that we got, the literature review that our survey suggested, it is contrary to what is that in the original paper. In the original paper, they have got the positive response, but in our current study, we have conflicting response where people are thinking that having contract-based jobs reduces or it increases the chance of job insecurity and losing jobs, and so it indirectly impacts their productivity. Then coming to time engagement and time disengagement, here the literature review that we have identified, it has several factors that people are saying that they have several factors that has reduced their interest in work. So we have further categorized these time engagement and disengagement factors into further factors. One is people-based factor. So these are the factors that include issues that are related to managers, issues with the team members, or issues with inadequacy in mentorships. So, and after that, the other factor is facilities and support-based factors. Here, the factors that are related to physical environment or work environment, such as lack of resources, inadequate facilities, or bad working conditions. So these are the factors that we have categorized on the basis of the results that we got. And some interesting results that we found is that around 80% of people thought that they have experienced decrease in interest or motivation throughout the open source project life cycle that they have worked on. And then when it comes to entry barriers, our SLR results matches with the paper's results, where paper also suggested that this factor highly affects productivity for newcomers, and it is often related to onboarding and documentations. So we have derived that heavy and difficult onboarding process, along with lack of documentation, it creates barriers for new employees to work, and eventually it also bring down their morale if they are not able to fit into the system. So we suggest that the onboarding process and the documentation should be made clear, and it should not be very time consuming. Coming to gender diversity, the original paper is very much focused on gender diversity in the workplace, but we've expanded the analysis to include a more general perspective, which also includes the gender diversity and cultural diversity. So the result of our systematic literature review that we did for diversity, that having a diverse team with different members of different cultures, can be of different genders as well, from different locations, and we have found that it is indeed beneficial for productivity and creativity of team members. The other factor is external stressors. Now, this is the entirely new factor. The original paper did not explicitly address any issues that are related to external or personal stressors. So we have then identified some sub-factors that are related to this topic, which includes external responsibilities, working type, and mental health. Coming to external responsibilities, the results of our systematic literature review here, it indicates that family responsibilities is something that is very much under discussed topic in research in workplace, and we suggest that the family responsibilities or any sort of external responsibility, as it is an important factor, it should be taken care of by giving some sort of counseling or giving days off and holidays. working type is something that has recently been emerged after COVID-19. So the concept of working from home has been a trend since then, and our results suggest that it is very well received by the developers across different locations. So the rise of remote work and flexible work arrangement has indeed improved productivity for most of the people. Coming to mental health, it comes with no surprise that it is perceived as a very crucial factors and for productivity in workplace. And our review and result also suggests the same thing. It also derives that the developers, whoever we or respondents, whoever took our survey, also agree with us 100% on mental health. Can you go to next slide? Yeah. After that, the initial survey that we did for phase 2 included multiple choice questions. So most of the multiple choice questions, we did analysis on that, which we also added with our phase 2 deployment. But here with phase 3, we have added textual based analysis, where we are doing text based analysis with the help of word cloud. So here we have done text data analysis from the survey responses for the topics that we had. We also did location specific word cloud, like we explained in project proposal, that we did not come across many papers that does this location based survey. And we personally believe that we have different kinds of people belonging to different place, which they may have different mentalities which affect their productivity, and we wanted to cover that area as well. We have friends back in Asia and we have friends back in here in America, so we wanted to find the gap and find the differences and all the similarities between how it impacts their productivity. So we have done that location based survey as well, and we have gathered our inferences. More detailed inferences on word clouds and textual based analysis can be found in our statistical analysis report that we have submitted with the PDF report. Can you go to next slide? This is the generalized word cloud report. Here we have included all the key points that we have come up with, all the key points that people have come up with in their responses, and we have extracted the most frequently occurring words and written a word cloud for that. So that's that. Now Sangeeta will explain the conclusion.
Thank you, Maitri, for detailed explanation. Coming to the conclusion, comparison of our study with the original paper, we got most of the results similar to the paper. And also additional to that, we have come up with 2 additional factors, which is work arrangements and also external stressors. And interestingly, we got to know some of the factors which were not as expected as in the paper, like the factor where Harsha has explained regarding the diversity, where most of them have felt it is different from different projects and different companies. So it depends, depending upon the companies and everything. And the other factor is contractual relationships, which Maitri has explained it regarding it, where in that also most of the developers felt it has different options. Like most of them were like maybe where like that improves the productivity and everything. And also and additional findings to that is we can even continue the survey, like even if you want to explore the additional features. And with the survey results, we can tell what in what places the developers lack the productivity. And thank you everyone for coming up with the survey, and thank you, ma'am, for giving us a chance to explore the paper.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.